Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, little children, dogs and cats, welcome back to another rousing rendition of what we like to call the Brunching Podcast. And we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's not quite different, but it's a little bit different. We're giving just a slice. But we're gonna continue the conversation from the previous episode. So we're gonna call this part two of nepotism. And we mentioned our brother on the previous episode. So go listen to part one before you come listen to part two. But we got our brother, Mr. Ashun Jackson, uh, on the podcast with us today. How you doing, man?
What's good, my brother? You made me sound like a Muslim. We got my brother. Nah, what's good, man?
Hey man, it's all good. And we've been talking offline about this for a little second. And we've been talking about just in general, just getting you on the podcast for a while. You've been talking about doing your own podcast for a while. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
we actually getting some on wax, as they say, for a minute. But um this conversation about nepotism and LeBron and Bronny, me and DJ talked about it earlier. We shouted you out on the episode. But we definitely wanted to get you on to get your perspective. Because just to give a little bit of background about you, we know each other from our days at Tuskegee. You played football there. You also
TU.
played football at, you also played football at Hofstra. But the nepotism conversation comes into play because your dad, the great Bobby Jackson, played in the NFL for what, like seven,
Nine
eight,
nine years.
9 years with the Jets and with the Falcons.
Right.
And he's a Jets legend in the and all of that. So the conversation of nepotism, we definitely wanted to have that conversation with you because growing up with the famous father, with the father with clout and with position, and the expectations that come along with that. And then on the flip side, where we're having this conversation about LeBron and Bronny, where the biggest thing that we wanted to do was just kind of address the people that are negatively looking at it, where it's like, oh, why is he doing it? Where it's like the frame of mind that we got, and even you, where it's like, why wouldn't you? Why would you not set your kids up for some type of success? But you also
Right.
had another interesting viewpoint for it. And it gets into the conversation about ownership, where it's like Bron has this much power, he could very easily get his son, a job, and he doesn't have to play this sport, and the wear
Right.
and tear on his body. But I want you to go ahead and give your insight into it, especially from your standpoint, especially with the game of football, by it being this full contact sport where
Yeah.
you don't want your kids to ever play football. So, but just
Right.
go ahead, give your piece on it.
I mean, we gotta scale it. You know what I'm saying? So before we start talking about it, I want everybody to scale it. And this is something that I preach all the time is that we're taking a small percentage of the population and then we even squeezing it down to the elite when you're talking about sports.
Mm-hmm.
So, as black people, our culture is either you for entertainment, you rapping, you acting, you playing sports. If I miss one, let me know. But that small percentage right there is kind of like a success scale for black people.
Mm-hmm.
And with me growing up with my dad and people, yeah, he played for the Jets, but my dad, you got to understand when I say scale and we talking about time, how much time are we alive? How much time are we here? And we're blips in time. So then we get into the greatest of all times and we get into GOATs and we get into that debate on who's good and who's not. But let's talk about the scale of success and what that means to some people. It may mean having a lot of money. It may mean taking care of your family. It may mean all of the above. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the scale. So when we talking about Bronny James and LeBron James is on a scale to where his son don't have to play basketball. But what other options can he provide outside of coming and playing on the team? I don't understand why somebody would want to play basketball. If my pops was worth $1 billion, I would just be learning how to handle the money and be living my life outside of, the media and the attention. But some people like that and they want to do that. That's cool. I never liked it. I never wanted the attention. It was just something I was born into.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I just had to deal with it as it came because my dad played in the late 70s and the mid 80s. So you got to understand when he was coming up, black people wasn't even allowed to play no sports. So to
Yeah,
be able to play sports and to be able to do your thing and have an opportunity was that nepotism. It was that aspect of shoot, I get a chance to come out and then I can help somebody else. And my dad only went to college because the best dude in the state at the time was like, yo, if he don't come, I'm not coming. He wasn't highly recruited. So we're just like that's
That's nepotism
an
in itself
example.
too.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So we supposed to bring each other up. But now it's got to a point to where when you make so much money and you get so much attention, listen, the black people nepotism is a great thing, but I'm saying it from first person experiences. They the first people who hating. They're the
yeah,
first people to say you only got it because of this, that, and the third, because they didn't experience it. And then so that's why we use these small percentage of athletes and these small percentage of LeBron Jameses and Michael Jordans as examples. And then it's just like we just debating about some shit.
yeah. And
What about the
that was the other part of the conversation that we were having too was just um the only time that we really feel that a negative aspect should come from nepotism is if the person didn't earn it or doesn't deserve it. And like for
right,
you, in your example, for your case, you trained and played football and were good at a high level throughout. You like, and I mentioned on the previous episode, you were slated to play professionally.
right,
You got like you were. So if by your father's name somebody would have said, "Hey, Sean, come on and play, come get this contract," it wasn't like you just came off the streets and somebody was like, "Oh, your daddy, Bobby Jackson, cool, here go a uniform and a contract." You
mm-hmm,
literally trained and played at a high level throughout. Your resume showed it. So it's like even then, like Bronny's not the best player in the world, but he did very good at the combine. He's consistent. He's a team player. And like I put it in the perspective like it's 11, no, 15 people on the roster. We see the same 5 to 7 people play the entire season.
right.
This man got his son a job, got him a steady check and insurance and all of this and exposure. His deal's about to increase what he got and he might not ever have to actually play. Same thing with Giannis and his brothers. Giannis said, if y'all finna bring me from Greece, I'm bringing my 2 brothers with me, and they didn't get
Right,
contracts too. What's
right.
bad? Like, what's bad about it? And I think that's really the thing that I wanted to get across is like you said, we sitting and we taking this very small percentage, and the community is debating about it. And it's like, but why is the people on the side that's saying it's wrong? Why is it wrong? Like, what's wrong with
Because they jealous and they want that experience.
And I
So
said jealous
it's
one still envy because it's like
yeah,
you really coming at this, and I attribute it to the syndrome of white supremacy and white privilege just overcoming because it's like you really gonna find fault in a black man providing at the base of this. He's providing for his son. Now you can flip it all the ways you want to, but at the base, that's what this man did. And like you said, they probably jealous because their daddy never gave him a job or never put him on.
not
Or
it ain't probably is they jealous because they probably ain't had no daddy or their daddy didn't reach level of success that they deem as successful, even though their dad probably was a great dad if they was in his life, had a job that provided, maybe couldn't buy you Mercedes and Gucci and Louis, but
Mhm.
provided. So the scope is just it's totally in disarray in how people look at things. And the one thing I'm gonna say about that is that these white folks is investing in stock. Okay. They investing in stock. So somebody's going to invest in me over the next person because I come from great stock. LeBron James, son, I'm gonna invest in that. Regardless if he a bust or not, I'm gonna invest in that because
Mhm.
that's great stock. And white people are in the business of sports because it is a business. And
Yeah.
we look at it as the GOAT and the stats and the points and all that. So nah, it's a business. And so I look at it from that point. Like I wasn't highly recruited out of high school, but shoot, one of my dad's coaches was Joe Gardy, who was the head coach at Hofstra and see me work out one time. And guess what? He invested in me. Not because I was the best player in the state, because I come from good stock.
And that's the part of nepotism that I want us to really and truly embrace, where it's like there is absolutely we literally always use the phrase, and I keep saying it over and over again of it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
And it's like, why not? And that was part of what we were saying to finish off part one was we look at we talk about generational wealth and legacy and all of this stuff, and it's almost like a hot topic in the community where that's all we're talking about now. But we putting it into these tangible terms where it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy a house and buy land, I'm gonna pass it down to my kids. Buy, investing in the stock market and all of this and mutual funds, and I'm passing it down to my kids. But it's like as simple as passing on your network. And I look at you like you're a great example of it. Like the people that I know personally that you've met and the people that I've been in a room with personally just because of, my proximity to you, like your dad's old teammates. And these are people that, their names are in record books. These are people who have, what I would consider clout. And it's like,
I
these people and
I grew up.
exactly, you grew up around these people, and by nepotism, they're part of your network now. Like you call some of these people your godfathers, your uncles, because they, and it's only because of your dad. And it's like,
Right.
why wouldn't you want that for anybody specifically that looks like you? Like, and it's the thing, like with nepotism is family and friends giving them an advantage or putting them in position. And it's like, why do we have minds that are so twisted to where
Crabs
you?
in the barrel. Because crabs in the barrel.
I know, and me and DJ talked about it, where it's like every time any of these topics come up, it always reverts back to like, damn, we really do as a collective not really want to see each other do good. Like that's
Man, listen, that's just the way we are as a people, and it ain't never gonna end because that's the cycle we've been put in. Elevate a couple of them, and then make everyone else envious of that lifestyle. When if you were to offer somebody 100,000 or 200,000 and knew what to do with it, they have a better lifestyle if they're at peace with themselves and know who they are. So that's success for me, is knowing who I am, and then meeting people like you, and then just building a bond and a friendship, until we old as hell.
mhm.
And then I'm gonna say, AJ, go holler at this dude, and go holler at that dude, and go holler at that dude. Make this shake. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's really it. Because like I said, the nepotism that we share amongst each, like between us,
mhm.
our networks are open to each other. You didn't put me on to people. I didn't put you on to people.
All right.
We do business together. We start things. We share ideas and visions. It's like, why why is that not the norm? And that's one of the what I'm
You have
saying.
to be taught that, man. You know that but we have a lot of similarities as far as family structure. You
Mm-hmm.
grew up with a successful dad. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with a successful dad, maybe in different fields and maybe in more, eyes on that specific job.
Mm-hmm.
But to my eyes, that's successful because he raised someone like yourself.
And
So
that
it was
was
like most of these cats, they don't even have no dad or nothing like that.
yeah, and that was one of the points that we talked about too. Was if I like my dad has owned his own business my entire life growing up,
Hmm.
and I know for a vast majority of my younger life, the 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 vision was always at some point you gonna take over this.
Right.
And I also pointed out there are instances of nepotism that we're surrounded by, but I don't think that we really frame it right because we all, like you said, we really take this very small percentage, the
Hmm.
ones who have the eyes, the celebrity, the fame, and we like, oh, that's nepotism. And
Right.
it's like Jerry Jones' whole entire family runs the Cowboys,
Right.
but then
Lakers.
we don't the Lakers, Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like we look at that and be like, that's the way it should be. But then when we do it, it's like, but it's only when it's on that level. Master P
Right.
put all his kids on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
so like, why wouldn't you have this structure? The same corner store that's been black owned in your hood for 30 years, the grandma and the granddaddy started it, the mom and daddy ran it while the kids worked there, and now the oldest son running it. That's nepotism. What's wrong with that?
It's
Like,
it's 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 because people want validation, and only to become validated, you only become validated by one type of people, and that's the people who control all the big business. We
yeah.
don't control big business. So validation is if I say, hey, I'm the fastest dude to ever walk the planet, and I feel that, right? Can't
Mm-hmm.
nobody tell me different. They gonna say I'm arrogant. I'm gonna have to win the Olympics to prove that I'm the fastest person. I don't run the Olympics though. White people run the Olympics. So I gotta validate to them that I'm the fastest person. But when was the last time you checked for the garbage man and gave him a tip because he's taking your trash? You know what I'm saying? And it's like we don't appreciate the teachers and the people who actually make the world go around, but we worry about Bronny James and LeBron James because they can, score a basket. And coming from an athlete, I'm like, man, that's only a short period of time.
Exactly.
Call out an athlete who's really making a difference on the ground floor and actually using all these billions of dollars to do something. That's why I don't care because
Yeah.
nobody's doing nothing. They just getting a lot of money. We hear about it, we talk about it, and I'm just well off enough to know that money ain't everything. I had a father who taught me that relationships is everything. You know what I'm
It
saying?
really and truly is because that money gonna run out. Money runs out. Like even if you got a lot of money, you're gonna spend it, and unless you consistently getting it in, it's gonna run out. But them relationships is what sustains you throughout life. And
Right.
if that money to the point where if that money do run out, if your relationships ain't strong, you ain't got nobody to call to bring you pick you back up. Be like, hey, I'm down bad right now. You know what I'm saying? Slide me something. Slide some oil to me, like the man Nipsey Russell said. Um, but
But you know, that's why most athletes come from poverty stricken homes. Because it takes a certain type of person to be that selfish and accumulate that much money to not be able to do anything impactful. That's why everybody just they got mamas.
and that's why a majority of all rookie sports athletes, except for probably like the NHL and the MLB, which is still predominantly white, they go broke after they done play for what 5 years,
And
making.
if the owners care for the players, why wouldn't they financially set them up?
Oh man, you know they
It's
got
just
the
a
smoke screen now where they give them a day to talk to a. They give them a day to talk to. They have the little seminar at rookie camps
oh
now.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
day. It's
yeah. But
one
I'm
day
talking
they get
about
them.
withholding checks
Oh
and
yeah,
saying you're not gonna get this bread until you retire, and you're gonna get enough to live on and live all right, but
because
you're
we
not gonna get
still
this.
because and you know what's crazy, and this is only coming from a place of like aged wisdom. Like I'm older now, so it would make sense to me. But we look at a lot of the rookies, especially in like the NFL and the NBA, and it's like they coming fresh out of college. In NBA, they coming out of high school damn near. So it's like they still
Mm-hmm.
are 18, 19. They ain't live no life for real. And then even in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL, you coming in at, 20 something. And it's like you grown by legal standards. So who gonna tell you that you can't take your six figures and go blow it? You know what I'm saying? But it's like
Right.
me now, I'd be like, that makes sense. When you just said, I'm like, that makes total sense. Like, hey, set all of them up with a trust. Set all of them up with, you know what I'm saying, putting
Housing.
put
This
yeah.
is your housing. This is your
Like,
transportation.
hey, how many
This
people
is
you need to live with you? Four? Okay, you don't need an 8 bedroom mansion. No, you
right.
don't.
They
But
can't do
then,
that.
but then, hey, you know what it is? You get the reverse, the evil nepotism comes in where it's like the league is like, hey, here go an accountant, and here go a financial advisor, but they getting the kickback. Here go the
Mm-hmm.
agent, you know what I'm saying? That's getting the
8%.
kickback. So all they got to do is just make sure it's like a puppy mill. Like, oh, okay,
Right.
I got 30 clients on the roster right now, and they all get league minimum. Cool. If he gone, guess what? I'll get another one.
Right.
Drop another one, get another one back. So they don't really have a vested interest in the people. So why?
They
So
can't.
that's another check for nepotism. Because who, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you got a solid structure around you, who gonna look out for you more than you? And for people that come from dysfunctional backgrounds, my heart hurts for you because I don't come from that.
Right.
Like I know that my people they got my best interests at heart at all times. When I don't even have
Mm-hmm.
it for myself, they
Mm-hmm.
do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so I think a lot of healing and unlearning gotta happen because conversations where we see a black man on the literally one of the highest stages and highest levels of visibility not really have crazy junk go happen. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't. We ain't heard that he cheating on his wife, that he beating his
Right.
wife, that
Right.
his kids out here. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy, making dumb decisions, stupid purchases, and all of this. We see the
Mm-hmm.
man actually doing philanthropic work, playing at a high level, leading a family, raising young black boys, and then as soon as he puts his black kid on, you got somebody saying that's nepotism. Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you expect? Because the big point that we was making earlier is like we gonna come with the damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because if he didn't do it, then we're gonna be like, oh, your dad Bron, and he couldn't even get you in the league. He
I
got him in
just,
the league.
I just, for me, like, it's cool that he got him in the league, but I would have rather,
There you go.
like I
That's what
said
I
to
wanted you to
you.
talk about too. Is your next level thinking to it with the ownership and piece off. That's what I want to get to next. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're just like, yeah, that's cool. Like he get to put on a jersey, but I would rather have seen him, finish school, become a business minded man, and take over the brand of which is LeBron James, because that's a lot more obtainable for Black individuals to create a brand and learn how to function and do good business and really be on the ground. Like playing basketball, that's not groundwork. That's entertainment. So I'm not impressed by, him getting him a basket. He might not even play. He might go in the G League. But it was just like, didn't he have a heart attack? I was like, didn't he have a heart attack? Like,
Yeah.
where's his frame of mind to have his kids, best interest? Because my pops wouldn't even let me touch a football. He was like, yo, you're gonna get injured. He already went through it. He already went through it. So why I'm gonna put you through it? He's putting him through it. You already put the jersey on and made billions of dollars. Why are you putting him through the same journey that you're supposed to be ahead of that to set him up for ownership of whether it's a team, a GM, a president, a brand president of LeBron James Enterprises, whatever he want to call it. That's what I want to see. We playing basketball and everybody want to play basketball.
And see, that's that part is what I consider the evolution of nepotism to where what's happening is entry level nepotism. But even that
Right.
for us is
Entry level
expected
on
is
a high
like,
level.
yeah, but it's like the least that we should be able to do for our people, our circle, whoever your strategic partnerships and your power circle are, your family, friends, if you can't give them access to any kind of privileges or benefits,
You ain't do your job.
you ain't doing your job. You gotta be of value to others. And part of that value would be I can get you this, like, hey, if I work here, hey, you need a job, I put you on where I work at.
All right.
And like what me and DJ was talking about, every application for every job pretty much now got a referral box on it. It was like, did somebody refer you? Did an employee works here now? Do you know the employee code? And then
Mm-hmm.
even the other level for that from the corporate side is when they hiring for positions, but they only hiring internal. They're like, look, if you work here already, you can get this job. We're not hiring from outside. That's
Mm-hmm.
nepotism in a sense, where it's like,
Right.
why can't why do we frame like our frame of reference is just so skewed when it comes to it's like, and but then it's always damned if you do it, damned if you don't, because it's like, oh, your mama work at the bank. Let me see if she could give me a job up there. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
I have the connection, the door is open. The line of
Right.
communications are open at all times. Hey, AJ, I know your pops, got this going on over here. You mind if you think we can have a conversation? Of course. Let me link that up right now.
Right.
Because
But
the other
most
thing
people
is like
not going to do that because they
exactly,
don't
but
want you doing better than them.
at that part where it's like if you do it, but it's like I don't know why we don't look at the you know what I'm saying, the leveling up together. It's like I don't know. I always put shit
Bro, I
like
already did.
video game
Listen,
reference.
nah, man, that shit is a lie, bro. I already tried. I didn't put too many people on. And when you put people on who ain't never had none before, they go, nah, 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 act like you ain't never did nothing. So that's
Yeah,
why you stop. I'm not helping nobody out. You got to pay me.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I feel
saying? Like, you
like I
got,
feel like that's because, and we've had this conversation in previous episodes about vetting people at this point. Like really truly vetting people is like you cool, but because
ain't nobody got time
nepotism,
for that.
you can't give nepotism for everybody because it's like the people in your in your sphere that you can't connect with certain people. It's like I'm not going not like, oh,
Obvious
hey Sean,
ones.
I know the people at the Jets, man. Put me on it. You know that you can't let that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
get
yeah,
off in that room because
yeah.
he will screw it all up. We get
Right,
that.
right. And that's what they do. You can't refer people. You can't help people because they're going to mess it up. You know what I'm saying? They're going to mess it up. Especially if they ain't never had none before. Their ego and everything going to get in the way and then it implodes. So, it's good, like you said, to keep a small network.
I think
Shit,
that's
I
really
probably,
truly it.
you know what I'm saying? But you got to have a
You gotta
larger
keep that.
network.
Yeah,
If you,
but see, and that's one of the things what we talk about with power circles, where it's like, okay,
hmm
my circle, my what I consider like my power circle is people like
like,
you, DJ,
yeah,
Doc,
like 5 people.
my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe like two or three other people that is like, if I'm in most things that I'm doing, I'm consulting with multiple, like one or two of y'all all the
hmm
time.
hmm Right.
So it's like if it's within certain subjects, I'm coming to you like, hey, tell me what you think about this. If it's talking about other subjects, I'm coming to DJ. Me and Doc talking. If it's talking like if I'm talking finance, I'm calling
hmm
Doc. The man got a
hmm
PhD in financial planning. Why would I not talk to him? But
Right.
to your point, you keep that circle small, but Doc got a circle.
I
Doc
got
got
sub
seven
circles.
people in
Yeah,
his. Yeah.
yeah,
You got a
yeah,
circle of like six
yeah.
people. DJ got a
Right.
circle of six people. So now my circle is increased to like 40 people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
Because I
like,
blindly say, yo, this my man AJ.
and it has
He
happened.
not gonna fuck up the bag.
This has
He
happened
not gonna fuck.
several times.
Right.
I didn't been in places that I ain't even know existed.
You
I done
know what
been
I'm
in
saying?
places that didn't even exist. And you like,
Yeah.
hey, no, he good, he with me. And I'm like, hey, where the hell is this
Right.
shit at?
Yeah.
Where
But
are
that
we
but
at?
but but the thing that's crazy that most people wanna advertise and market what they do and who they know and where they are. I don't take pictures with nobody for a reason. I
Mm-hmm.
don't post stuff like certain stuff I don't because I don't want nobody to know.
You really don't be on social media at all. And we've had this
Hell
conversation
no.
offline plenty of
For what?
times
I
where
put a little bit out there.
you be like, hey man, I want to do a podcast and I want to do this. I'll be like, hey Sean, but you don't even like post on anything. Like
Nah, because people don't deserve to hear what the hell I be talking about. So ain't no point of me even talking because they just gonna say something stupid
you're gonna be the
and
person
then
that's got like when the day you die, we gonna find out that you got like tapes and tapes of just content of yourself just talking, and we're gonna be like, the fuck
I
did he
wish.
record this shit? Be like, release this shit when I die, because I don't want to see the niggas hate on me.
I'm gonna blow, yo, mad shit would just be blown the fuck up, bro. I know too many people and I fuck with too many people on so many different levels that it's best that people don't know that because that's how you figure out angles. If you're too messy and too mixy, you don't know where the angles is coming from. I know where all angles come from because I only talk to like 5 people on a personal level who knows me. So that's
And
important.
I tell people, man, if you're trying to figure out the angles, look at a circle.
Yeah,
If you really want to
right.
figure out the angles, look at a circle. And technically, a circle has 360 degrees worth of angles.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna figure that shit out. You gotta surround yourself with the right people. And you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I was able to tap in with part of my
Right.
power circle and introduce you to our listeners. And we definitely gonna have you back on for
No,
more.
I appreciate you.
No, I definitely appreciate you, bro, because I definitely wanted to get your perspective on it because that's one of the other things that I appreciate about having you in my circle is like me and you always align with thought, but you always
Mm-hmm.
have it, like you said, from literally a different POV to
Mm-hmm.
where it's like stuff that I don't even think about. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about it from that part. You be like, yeah, I hear you, and I'd be like, damn, all right, bet. But that's the thing, like having like-minded people with bigger
Keep it
or
stacked.
different
Mm-hmm.
vision is essential to having a proper power circle. So
Right.
definitely appreciate you for coming on having this conversation.
Nah, anytime,
Nepotism
bro.
2.0 that we talking about, man. Look, like I said at the end of part one, y'all get you some nepotism going in your circles, man. Start putting
Facts.
your people on. If you know what
Facts.
I'm saying, if you've never put nobody on, try it out. If it
For no
don't work,
reason.
don't
For no
give up.
reason.
Just give up on that one person for right now until you get in a
Right.
position where they can't screw nothing up. And we'll all get there one day. We hope and we pray. But hey, Sean, tell her where the people can find you because they can't find you, but they ain't gonna find you. But tell them.
Man, you might find me on Instagram. You might find me in your nearest bodega. You feel me? But right now I'm in North Carolina. And yeah, man, one man army A Sean. You know what I'm
One
saying?
man
Holla at me.
army Ashun. That's with the number one Ashun, ASHUN. But
Yes,
follow
sir.
us, listen to us at Brethren Pod. That's spelled like bread, BREAD, like bread, because we always talking about bread. We always getting bread.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to all of my illustrious co-hosts, Mr. Deshaun Well, Dr. John Loving, PhD, CFP, and Alicia Brandon of HBCUPets.com. This part two has been brought to you also by Castell Vodka, Kastell,
I
Castell
need some of
Vodka.
that.
Hey,
Yeah, I
it's
need
on the
some of
way.
that.
It's on the way. We already talked about that. We're going to continue that conversation. But yeah, get you some of that Castell Vodka, and we'll catch you on another episode. Peace.
Yeah.